Granite School District budget hearing. And with that, we will take a roll call. You see Carol Panegas is here, and Greg Farley, Tina Veach, myself, Bill Dane, sitting in for Peter Ledoux. And I'd like to make a motion that we excuse Peter tonight.
I second.
Okay, motion made and seconded, so.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You're gonna help me so much.
We
All right,
got you.
so we're gonna do an overview of the 2026-2027 school year budget. And that's gonna be led by,
Well, we're here to answer any questions you might have. We went over it at our
right?
study session
Yeah, I
earlier in
think
July.
the purpose of this hearing is for the public to have an opportunity to come in and comment about our budget. It hasn't changed much since we did a study session,
Right.
go over it. It's nickels and dimes here and there. The overall fund balance at the end is about the same, plus or minus $10,000 or $15,000. Revenues, expenditures are the same, so really, nothing has really changed. But we're required by law to have this hearing to give the public an opportunity to come in and comment about the budget. We can go through the presentation again if we'd like to, or we can hold the meeting open for a while to see if public might show up. Whatever you guys.
Whatever the will of the board.
I'm good with that. Do you need him to go back over what we've already been through?
Absolutely.
No.
And any additional
Please.
questions since then?
No offense, Marshall.
No additional questions on that, so yeah, we'll leave the meeting open for 5 minutes, and if no one shows up, then we'll go ahead and close.
Perfect. I went ahead and I posted all the documents on the budget hearing agenda, so if the public wants to view it at their leisure, they can.
Okay.
I think it's fairly well self-explanatory, but
It would be nice sometimes if the public would show up and talk to us about it.
yeah.
Sorry, I meant to turn it off.
You know, we do likes to engage in salamander night and stuff like that, but I wish we could find a way to. We had salamander night at
All right, the time is 5:45, and we have no comment from the public or questions about the 2026-2027 budget, so we will be closing the hearing as of 5:45.
I know.
meeting of the Granite Falls School District Board of Directors. And we'll open this with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Dr. Gleason, if you read the land acknowledgement, or do you have someone for that?
I will be happy to do it. Executive Director Moore, would you like to read it?
I would love to.
Oh.
We honor the first peoples of these lands by acknowledging that the area in which we gather is within the traditional territory of the Stillaguamish tribe of Indians. The Stillaguamish people have inhabited these lands and waters since time immemorial, and their descendants have remained in this territory to this day. The Stillaguamish people have continued to practice the traditional ways of their ancestors of fishing, hunting, and gathering. The Stillaguamish tribe has had these lands and cultural traditions passed on to them by their ancestors who believed that everything has a spirit and that they are caretakers of these lands and waters.
Thank you very much. And I want to welcome all of our, this is probably the biggest audience I've seen in a school board meeting in quite some time. So welcome tonight. And then we'll acknowledge our board here: Carol Panegas, Greg Farley, Tina Beach, Bill Dane. Peter Ledoux is absent tonight. And do we want to do another?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to excuse Peter Ledoux for tonight.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I want to welcome Elijah as our student representative here on his summer break, which is, admirable. And so the next thing is comments from the board, and we'll start with Carol.
I am really excited to see all of you here because I have a lot of comments tonight. There's so much going on in Granite Falls, and I just want to bring it to everyone's attention. Tomorrow, I don't know, I live on Minzel Lake Road. Everybody has got bears in their driveways, bears in their trash, bears in their birdseed. But the library, Fish and Game, is doing a Living with Bears tomorrow at 5:30 from the library. So if you want to go find out about Living with Bears, that's a good place to go. Then coming up, Show and Shine's August 1st. That's always fun. August 4th, have your ballots in. August 4th. Don't leave them on the kitchen counter, kitchen ballots. National Night Out is August 4th. That's at Mountain Way. That's always amazing fun. I think it starts at 4 o'clock. And then, let's see what's coming up next. And then I'm at the Granite Falls Community Coalition Food Bank as well. And we're having a food drive at IGA Meat Sale on the 14th and 15th. But we had a brand new chest freezer that was just donated to us. And we're gonna, if you bring us 5 items during the food drive, you get a raffle ticket for the freezer. So I wanted to throw that in. We're also still taking donations for back to school, which is coming up August 18th. Big celebration. We work with the school district, fire department, police and sheriff, and it's truly a celebration for Granite Falls students. And we have backpacks and school supplies and fun activities. And like I say, we're still taking donations for that. So I think, before I wanted to acknowledge, I spent some time today with the end of school improvement plans. I will look at them some more. I just wanted to acknowledge the work that the building teams put into those. You could tell there was a lot of self-reflection and, just identification of areas for improvement. But it was really nice to see their measurable goals that were specific to each building and those identified needs. I just really appreciated seeing that. I'm done.
Thank you. Director Farley?
I don't have a ton because I haven't seen everybody for a while again because we haven't had meetings. By the way, I did want to remind you guys that I'll be gone from the 3rd of August to the 15th, just so you're not counting on something.
Okay,
So I'll miss the committee meetings and the one board meeting.
all right, thank you. Director Beach.
My turn. It's good to be back for the first time in a little bit, so thank you. Just a couple of comments. I think you all are here because of the band. We didn't have anyone sign up for public comment, but I appreciate and acknowledge that you're here and that that you're supporting the band, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. I support the band, I saw the thing, but obviously it puts me in a position when I'm on the board and a parent for a student that's currently in band. So I recognize that you're here. I recognize the importance of band and how much it's made a difference for our family, and our school board absolutely supports the band 100% and supports music, supports the students being able to have that, but we also need to ensure that the policies and procedures, things about student safety and the kind of the requirements of what it takes to transport students and some of the laws that are above this school district that are even federal DOT laws and things that our district has to comply with. We need to ensure that all of those things are taken care of so that as our students are traveling for band competitions, et cetera, that everybody's taken care of and that students are safe, they're fun, they're having fun, they're performing at the highest level. So thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting that. And I also just secondary, I don't know if anyone else noticed, but down in the consent agenda, there's the Washington Department of Commerce grant letter. And I want to acknowledge our superintendent and our cabinet. I'm not sure all the people that went into this, but I know it is hard to get grants and to know, we can't do a bake sale to raise money for our students, right? And so a lot of work went into the recovery for the energy things that we've made. And so there's an award that's almost $280,000 that Granite Falls will get reimbursed by the State Department of Commerce to go back into the fund for our students. So great job to all of those who worked on that, because I know it wasn't easy. It was broken down into some other numbers, but just wanted to say thank you.
I agree.
To all.
Okay, and I don't have a lot. We're going to talk about levy committee stuff, and that's where my focus has been since the end of school. I hope that students and faculty are getting a lot of rest and relaxation, getting ready for the upcoming year. I know that the improvements we're making to the buildings are going to substantially change how comfortable the buildings are for education, and I know that the things that we're looking at for our fields are going to make a huge difference in our community, so I look forward to that. And Elijah, do you have anything you want to add or say to the group?
Nothing much. Craft of the month was fun today at the library. Tried it to Craig. He's the guy who runs it. It's really nice. Made little mosaics today. Otherwise, it's been a boring summer. Cannot wait to get back to school.
Well, we can't wait to get you guys back to school. So. All right, and then we're got our levy committee updates. And Director Farley, you want to start with that?
I thought it was very beneficial the other day to meet at the school and actually go out and visually see what can be done. Some of the ideas like utilizing the tennis courts was something I hadn't necessarily thought of in ways that people brought up. I think it would be cool to have those be multi-use. And I don't know how many kids there are that would be going and playing basketball at night on the courts, and especially if they were lit when they can't use the gym. or how many community members would possibly play pickleball or something along that line. So it was really beneficial, I think. And then to kind of come up with a phasing plan where we're going to get this done. When we get this done, we'll move on to this part. When we get this done, we'll move on, where we're not putting ourselves in a big hole.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'll just go along with what Director Farley was saying, is that we met a week and a half ago with our fields committee, and there was a lot of amazing ideas. And what we've come up with was moving ahead. There'll be a resolution tonight about moving ahead with the project, getting a project manager on board, and starting to put together a comprehensive plan that'll span over the next 4 years and look at the different areas. We have 6 specific areas over between Monte Cristo and the high school that we're looking at doing improvements, and we also have to see how High Jewel plays into that and these fields here, and the interaction between the middle school, our preschool that we've got downstairs, and a playground for them, and different areas. But we have amazing input from the public. And I want to acknowledge, there's a third person on the chair here that represents the public, Tom Fitzgerald. He had called me today and excused himself from tonight's meeting. Didn't know if he needed to be here, but he has put in a tremendous amount of energy. And I think most people who have kids that are in any sport in the area knows who Mr. Fitzgerald is. He's been involved with community sports for as long as I can remember, at least 30 years, and he has done great. And I just, another thing that I think that needs to be acknowledged, and we talked about our Director Beach talked about the band and your guys here, and you know, some of the things that I think the band, one of the things I think the band needs is just a little bit more parental support. Mr. Fitzgerald's wife, when their children were in our school district, was kind of the band mother for this. I know that when her son left the band, they didn't have anybody. She still continued to run all of the resources for the band. And I'm not sure if we have one person doing that, but she made sure that the fundraising was taken care of and that it was done the way it was supposed to be done. She made sure that every field trip, that all of the permission slips were signed, made sure that every student, if they had specific needs, was taken care of. So, you know, that was amazing. And so the Fitzgeralds have been doing a lot for here. I think that going forward, and I'm a band, I'll say a band dad. My child was in band from 6th grade through her graduation. She also was part of the color guard, the beginning of the color guard first group, and was part of that all the way through graduation. And so I really do support everything we're doing, but I'm going to go along with Director Veach in that we have to make sure that all of the policies, procedures that we have in place are followed, so that we're making sure that the students are safe and the school district is protected. So that being said, we'll go on to superintendent report. Dr.
Great,
Eastland.
thank you. Right up there.
Awesome. So we're knee deep into the summer, and we have lots of summer projects. So huge investment into our facilities, as our directors have said. Right now we have Monte Cristo and Mountain Way are closed to everyone because lots of HVAC improvements and those kind of things. HR is busy doing some hiring. We have a few teaching positions and those kind of things, and just really looking at some of those long-term things. Next slide, please. So the construction update. Right now, we have HVAC improvements happening across our system. Again, Mountain Way and Monte Cristo is that complete revamp. It's like phase 1 of that revamp, and then the finishing touches will be in the spring. Granite Falls Middle School had some HVAC issues over the last couple of years, times where It was, if the power went out, then we weren't sure if we were going to be able to have school because of some of the ramifications of the power going out and what happened with those really antiquated HVAC systems. And then Crossroads High School is all moved upstairs now. And we have new preschool classrooms in the bottom of Crossroads, 3 new preschool classrooms in addition to the downstairs here. So we have quite a large early learning center. And the Crossroads High School, if you've ever been to Crossroads upstairs in the summer and early fall, right, Elijah, it's a little toasty. So that should be fixed by September, and so they'll be cooling as well. I mentioned the early learning classrooms being installed, and moving all the Crossroads classrooms upstairs. There's also some staff restrooms that we're putting in. There aren't enough right now, and moved a science lab upstairs. Granite Falls High School, the school-based health center is going in. Again, that is no cost to the district. That is through CHC and a grant that we wrote collectively together. And then the counseling center is being renovated a little bit just for better use for our students and the space that's in there. And then lastly, the entrance to Granite Falls High School, there's a little bit of a thoroughfare there, and some kids tend to drive pretty fast going all the way back to the stadium, especially after school or when practices are getting out. So speed bumps, there's going to be some speed bumps. I know that they are hard and we don't like to use them, but they do have people slow down. I'm worried about student safety in there. So we kind of mapped it out yesterday, and there will be about 4 speed bumps that go in pretty close to some crosswalks, but that'll help with some of that high-speed traffic that's in there. I worked with Granite Falls Police a little bit on that and asked them about that, and they were concerned about some of that as well. Next slide. So our athletic fields committee, thank you to everyone who has participated in that. There's been, upwards of 30 people attending our levy meetings. And the recommendation tonight is from that committee to the board, and then the board can take action on that if it sees fit. And it will be staged out. But one of the things that we know happens, especially in the fall, is between girls soccer and football and band practice and those kind of things, there's a need for more space that is all weather. And so some of the recommendations have been about that first field that's right behind field 6, and it's right behind the tennis courts. But that would be one of the first fields that we would do some initial work, and then moving on as the levy dollars come in. But we need more space for everybody to use and practice on, and it's exciting to get this going. Next slide. And I will turn over now to Executive Director Moore. She has a teaching and learning update.
And I'm just going to
While
write
she's
teaching
taking
and
notes.
learning update, and then I'm going to stop typing. Okay, next slide, please, David. Thank you. So very quickly, I'm going to deliver 2 required reports to you. The highly capable learner report is required, a yearly requirement, and it requires you to also approve of that report. That is also a consent agenda, which you received. And then just an update on our multilingual learners and that program. Next slide, please, David. Lots of words here. Just the high points here is that over the course of the last couple of years, OSPI has asked school districts to expand their screening process. And it's something that I'm really a deep believer in. So we now screen in 2nd and 4th grade. To be really clear, we're looking all the time. If we have a kindergartner that comes in and they're ahead of the mark on all of their TS Gold, their WA kids, we're taking a look. We don't want to wait to identify students, but we do go through a screening process. The great news about that is that the screening happens with their classroom teacher. So their number one fan, the person that they're most comfortable with. And then Teresa Watson does our full battery. So if a student screens through, then they qualify for the full battery. We get parent permission for that, and that is a test. We also review all of our students who are on 504 or IEP plans. The model delivery here in Granite Falls School District is mostly in response to the fact that we're a pretty small system. So the elementary level for our students, they get in their own classroom, they get extended or enriched activities. At the secondary level, we have advanced courses, some advanced courses at Granite Falls Middle School, like a year forward math, and also our AP courses in our college and the high school courses. We have expanded our AP courses at Granite Falls High School this year, and we're continuing to roll forward with having some variety so that we can have AP Psych, but we also have added in AP Human Geography, which is very, very interesting. It's about the migration of humans across the planet and what are the conditions and factors that cause that. And we're very excited about that. We want our students who have this eligibility to have those enriched activities and to have that critical thinking and extra projects, but not extra, things that really kind of poke at the brain and make you want to think and do extra things. So thank you, David. Next slide. So for highly capable, this is who we were serving in 25-26. And I'm pleased to report at the end of 24-25, we had 2 students who qualified. And at the end of 25-26, we have 13 students who qualified. So we are very excited about that. We decided to broaden it just a little bit so that there was access for our students. And so we also included SBA results. We also acknowledge that an assessment is just one snapshot of the day. And so we wanted to make sure that we were looking at all of the information. So we're super excited about that. And that's just the breakdown in the last 2 years of who we have served. It is our goal to continue to create more access for students and to create more space for students in this program. Thank you, David. Next slide. Okay, right sharp left turn. So that completes my enrollment report for highly capable. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about our multilingual learners. Lots of words here. Just the bottom line here is that that we are obligated and required, and it is our mission to also serve students who have the gift of being bilingual. And so these are those Washington state and federal definitions. And I'll give you a second to just take a look at those. And thank you, David. Next slide. So in our system and across the state, when students come into our system and they register, there is a home language survey that all students complete. And so if you are English speaking at home, your parent would write English is spoken at home. But if you write another language, like if you write Spanish, or if you write Tagalog, or if you write Wolof, or if you write Russian, or if you write Korean, that triggers a language assessment, a screening. And so we have a team of 2 teachers that do those across our system, Mr. Gabe Campbell and Mandy Maxfield. And then from that assessment, they determine eligibility. They notify parents along the way. And then if their student qualifies, they can receive some extra supports. And these are language supports. So this is students who are receiving some extra support in learning English. Next slide, please. We follow a placement process. We serve students. We receive some funding to help our teachers do that service. And really, we want to really make sure that we're meeting the needs of all of our learners. Thank you. Next slide. This gives you, board, a sense of where our numbers are right now. You can see the increase or decrease in students, but I do want to highlight that we are seeing an uptick in enrollment in 6 through 8. We're up quite a bit there, but also if you notice at the bottom, we are kind of in and around 100 learners right now, but our number of newcomer learners increased from 11 this past year to 20. So that represents a change, a little bit of a change. And there are some adjustments instructionally that we have to make for learners who are newcomers. They're operating at a different level of language. Thank you.
Newcomer is also the language that is with the WIDA. That's a level of language skill.
Yeah. And just for your information, these are the languages that are represented by our students here in Granite Falls School District. And that, of course, English. But the changes really between last year and this year is we no longer have Nepali, Italian, a couple of those. So really exciting. That is the end of my report. Are there any questions from the board?
Any questions?
I just had a question. Oh, actually, mine was about HVAC, so. Both of them at the same time.
Sure.
Okay. So for the HVAC, you said there's some stuff that's happening in the spring.
Yep.
So we're doing heat, for this fall and winter.
Yep.
And then we're planning AC in the spring, or will
Yes.
AC go in right now for
Nope.
something?
AC at Monte Cristo and Mountain Way will be in, and the high school will be in the spring. So we couldn't
How
get it
about
all.
this room?
Yeah.
This room is air conditioned, but it's a very old building though. So it just was a timing thing. We couldn't do all of it in the summer. We have sent out lots of notices, like the Monte Cristo and Mountain Way are absolutely not accessible right now. And Director Panegas and I are meeting today talking about, some of the things coming up and how to have restrooms, but keep people out of the buildings because there's just, when you take apart an HVAC system, pretty cumbersome.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Have we looked into credit in the middle school level for high school?
we have some opportunities for credit in middle
Especially the
school.
advanced
Algebra
placement
1, yes.
kids?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And then that would set them up for more.
1000%.
Having credits
Yeah.
going into high school, yes.
Yeah, and I'm also interested in having a little bit more space for kiddos, like the 24 credits that are required for high school graduation. It's very, very tight. And so it forces a couple of those conversations around how to fit in everything that's required in order to graduate. And then if you're really super interested in something and you want to take extra, then how do you do that? And you're kind of locked in, especially if you're college bound. So there are some places that we can do that. So we're looking at it.
Well, it's even like the firefighter program, having that opportunity,
Right.
so.
And taking Washington State history off the board at the high school level and making sure that we can offer it at middle school so that they can get that credit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, David. Next slide.
Just a reminder, Director Panegas talked about each of these, but National Night Out is coming up on August 4th. We would love to have you there. That is at Mountain Way outside, not in the building. The Living with Bears situation, I've heard stories from across Granite Falls. I mean, it's amusing if you're not seeing them and they're not stealing your chicken feed and doing other things. And then the Back to School Resource Fair, a very big event on August 18th. We're working with our school-based health center provider, CHC, to get sports physicals there as well. So more to come on that, but we're really excited to partner with lots of community members on these things. All right, and next slide. And then lastly, just some things coming up in the district. Our new certificated staff orientation on those days. We have our School of Rock, which is a 3-day event with certificated staff. The first day is a district day. That'll be at Granite Falls High School, building day and some individual preparation day. And then our first day of school is early this year. It's a very strange calendar. And so our first day of school, we go to school a couple of days, there's Labor Day weekend, and then we're back at it. But thank you to all of our staff who are working really diligently over the summer to get all of these things done, to get our schools ready for our kiddos to come back. Elijah will be thrilled when he gets there, right?
You'll start tomorrow.
Yes.
I had a question on School of Rock. Is there a particular introduction in the morning or something that as a board member I could attend?
Yes. All of you could come on that first morning. We are doing it a little bit differently. They're almost living through the life of a student and having several periods. We'll have some students that are helping them get to class on time, all of the staff, and it's a little role reversal, so it'll be great. And there's some required classes they have to take, just like students, and then there's some options that they have to take too. But there will be an opening session in the morning that you all could come to. And you're welcome to come to other parts of the day as well. Yeah, that'd be great.
If there's any skits and music planned, let us know.
Okay, we will.
The first year that Dr. Eastland was here was quite entertaining.
We should do that.
I needed some band members to help me out.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so item 4 is items from the floor. And I'm gonna just read this first little part and then I'm gonna ask a question of the board. So the Granite Falls School Board welcomes the opportunity to hear public comment and allows time for this purpose at each regular session meeting. To be put on the agenda, we ask, or our policy is that the request be made ahead of time or an email be sent for something that the public wants to be presented to the board. When those presentations are made, we generally don't comment back. Emily, do we have anybody that put in for that?
I did not see anything in the communications email.
Okay, and so what I'd like to do is ask the board, if, it looks like we have a big turnout, if we can waive the requirement for the scheduling and allow for some comment, but we'll also keep the time limit pretty tight. And then I'll read this portion of the presentation, and if there are some people who want to comment, we'll acknowledge them.
It would need to be a motion by the board to suspend the board policy for tonight. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your thoughts and all of those things. And then, so it would be to suspend the board policy that requires the 3 o'clock submission for public comment for the evening. And then it would go back into play if the board so desires.
So I'll make a motion that we suspend the board policy for tonight so we can hear comments.
I'll second it.
I'm saying a second, yeah.
I think we all know what's going on. It's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So, and then I should read this whole.
Yes.
We do have to.
Okay, so quite the introduction letter.
Here it comes.
Public comment section of the agenda is an opportunity for individuals to address Granite Falls School District Board of Directors. As this is a business meeting of the board, the purpose of public comment is to provide members of the public with the opportunity to communicate with the board regarding agenda items or matters within the scope of the board's responsibility and the work of the school district. This is not a time for a member of the audience to address one another or engage in debate. In accordance with Granite Falls School District Board Policy and Procedure 1400, members of the public may provide comments either by speaking in person or by submitting written comments. And then we're going to suspend the request to provide oral comments, and all written public comments must be submitted by 3 p.m. on the day of the board meeting by email. Communications at gfalls@wednot.edu. Written comments received by the deadline are distributed to each board member, included in the official meeting records, and attached to the meeting agenda available through board docs. If you are presenting your comments in person, please begin by stating your name, your city of residence, your relationship to the district, and the agenda item or district topic you are addressing. Please limit your remarks to, and it's 3 minutes, but if we can keep them shorter, if there's multiple, that would be appreciated since we're waiving our requirement. The board may establish time limits to ensure everyone has an equal opportunity to be heard. If your comments exceed the allotted time, I may respectfully interrupt you so we may continue with the meeting agenda. We ask that all comments be delivered in a civil and respectful manner. While the board welcomes differing viewpoints and constructive criticism, comments should not include language that is defamatory, offensive, discriminatory, threatening, or otherwise violates Board Policy 1400 or applicable law. Likewise, we ask everyone in the audience to listen respectfully without interrupting, talking over speakers, or engaging in side conversations so that all participants can be heard. If your comments consist primarily of material quoted from articles, books, websites, or other published sources, we encourage you to provide the board with references or links to use your speaking time to explain how the information relates specifically to the Granite Falls School District. The board is not obligated to respond to questions or comments during the public comment period. The board's silence should not be interpreted as an agreement or disagreement with the statements made. Contents may be referred to the superintendent or appropriate staff for review or follow-up as appropriate. The board has the responsibility to conduct its meetings in an orderly and efficient manner. Should comments or behavior materially disrupt the meeting, exceed the time limits, or fail to meet the standards of civility outlined in Board Policy 1400, the board president may interrupt the speaker or take other appropriate actions to maintain orderly conduct of the meeting. The board will exercise this authority in a content-neutral manner while respecting the public's right to address the board. Finally, the board welcomes ongoing communication from our community in addition to tonight's public comment period. Board members accept comments and questions by email throughout the year. We value the community engagement and appreciate the time, thought, and effort individuals take to share their perspectives as we work together to support our students. So with that said, we need to identify those who would like to speak in front of the board or speak to the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so just because it's just so orderly, we'll just start up here and we'll work our way through. So if you would like to, and if you can keep it as short as possible, I would appreciate it.
Do we still have the clock to show them?
Yeah, let's have you come here. I want to make sure that we get your name and everything correct. There's no speaker or microphone or anything.
Jill, do we still have the clock so that they can see
I have a
5-minute?
timer.
But can they see the timer?
So we'll begin with name, the city of residence, in relationship to the district.
My name is Stephen Merlin. I live in Granite Falls. I'm alumni of class of 26. Did I missing anything there?
Oh, you've got that?
Okay. Here to talk about the band, obviously the band program. I am graduated in the band program. I was in band since, I believe, 5th grade. 5th grade to graduating. I was a drum major from my sophomore year to graduating. I'm sure you'll hear from all the other speakers about what band means to them and how it has affected them throughout their life. It's affected me a great deal, but I'm sure we hear more from other people. But really the issue is that I want to talk about is the fact that the marching band won't be able to do competitions this season, or as of right now. That's the status of that. And I really just wanted to show my support sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, that it'd be great if that could happen this year. Competitive marching band, it's not halftime show marching band, which is what it would look like this year for those who are attending. It's not the same as competitive marching band. Competitive marching band allows the students to meet other band members from different bands and create a community. I know people, I'm going off to college, and during my orientation, I met different people who I had met at competitions across the state who I had never thought I would see again. And it provides all of these amazing opportunities. And the halftime band isn't the same. It's still fun, and we still get a great deal out of it, but it's just not the same for the students. And I would really urge the board to take whatever steps that they need to put the policies in place that they need to before this coming season, so that the students don't miss out on whatever opportunities that they could have had this year. And that's it.
Thank you. Next.
Like, I think it's
I'll
me.
cut down some of my. Oh, so sorry. That's okay. Hi, I am Sage Beach. I'm from Granite Falls, and I am class of 2026 alumni. I went to band from 5th to 12th grade, and I graduated this past June. I had a marching band every year of high school, and I can say with full confidence how much it has changed my life. Without marching band, I would not have the confidence, leadership skills, work ethic, and timeliness that has kept me, that has helped me get a well-paying job even before I graduated and become financially independent and responsible. My little brother Connor Beach is still in high school for another 2 years. He is a junior, and we have played trombone together for 5 years. Riley O'Lane, who is like a little sister to me, will be a sophomore this year and will be the new low brass section leader after my graduation. About a month ago, both of them came to me about not being able to compete in any marching band competitions, which broke my heart because of the impact it's had on me, and that is the reason why I'm here today. In marching band, we set high expectations for showing up on time, technique, treating others kindly, and setting a good example for our school. We have strict rules about not swearing, not speaking down to others, and only uplifting those around us. I went from my freshman year not doing well in any competitions to my junior and senior year getting first place in Best Drum Major awards over huge bands and divisions high above us. We went from being embarrassed of our show freshman year to being proud and respectful competitors, nicknamed the Disciplined Band, for having other bands tell us they wish their band was like ours. We were able to make friends through other bands, cheer on others in our division, and be proud of our little school district. Through competitions, we were motivated to push ourselves past our limits that were in our head, that Mr. Williams and Miss Rundle were able to show us that we were stronger than. I was able to do things I never thought I'd be able to do physically, mentally, and musically. The sense of community that was created through band, feeling a family that I felt and support from every single person was something that I never thought I would feel. I do not want this opportunity to be lost even for 1 year because of the drastic effect that every year of band and the growth that due to the competitions brought to me. Especially with our upcoming seniors, they deserve their final day of competition. I know it is brought up for possible safety concerns. I can say never in my 5 years of band trips did I ever feel unsafe. Did I ever not have a trusted adult in IVU, or was I ever left alone without a group of at least 3 people? I have 3 older siblings that also went on band trips who have had the same experience as me, along with my little brother Connor. Band trips gave me the opportunity to compete, to see new things, to meet other band members, and to see other bands compete. Marching band is genuinely such a life-changing experience, and I'm so proud of the person I've been shaped into today due to it. I've made lifelong friends who have never left my side and had experiences that I'll never forget due to the program that Mr. Williams and Miss Rundle have created and shaped for us. My little brother Connor wanted me to share some words, and I quote, "Band has been such an important part of my life. It's helped me make new friends since I feel awkward talking to people. Band has helped me socialize with new people because I had something in common with them. Whenever we went on band trips, we had a bus buddy which helped us make sure that we got to the bus safely during our breaks." Can I finish off?
And how much do you have?
Just one paragraph. Competitive marching band turns kids into responsible, hardworking, timely, passionate, and talented individuals who will do so much good in the world. I'm so proud of how it turned out because of the program that was created for us. I hope my words have reached you all today and you guys make the best decision for the students of our wonderful and talented school.
Kimberly Jameson, Granite Falls. I have a 9th grader and an 11th grader going to school. My 9th grader was competitive band last year for the high school as an 8th grader. So I actually came to you on July 1st, not knowing that that's not where we were supposed to speak, and I kind of busted in and spoke anyway. And I thank you very much for taking my comments, and I did send them to you. I wasn't sure if I needed to repeat that today since
We have, you can repeat it and we have it, either way, whatever you want to do.
okay, so I don't know if that might be more than 3 minutes, but I will say this. I did step up and volunteer to take the lead. I asked for the information to please reach out to me so that I could come help. I can pull it together pretty easily. It seems like it's just putting together packets so that the band holds to the safety policies and to the rules and guidelines. No biggie, really. To me, I'm a professional project manager. To me, it seems pretty basic, and especially if I can meet with whoever is doing it for football and make sure that all the same guidelines are met. If football is able to travel to competitions this year, there's no reason why band should not be able to. So I've been waiting for 3 weeks to hear. I haven't heard from anything or anyone. Autumn Robbins is partnering with me. She is the mom of Remedy Robbins, who's in advanced band and does competition. We're pretty passionate about being able to compete. They've excelled more and more every year. I made a lot of points in my last time about the benefits, not just to the students, but to the school district as well, since they go out all over the state and represent Granite Falls and the excellence that we are able to put out there. I believe the music program is one of the most excellent ones in the Northwest, in the Pacific Northwest, with a very excellent teacher. It's allowed my son, who was bullied most of his school life, to actually make great friends, and he has been so social all summer, like, he's been barely home. So, again, I please make the passionate plea to allow me to step in and do what's needed so that they can make competition. The band camp is coming up in the next couple weeks where they need to practice for competition. There's a big difference between doing a demonstration at half-ball time and competing. It's a huge difference. And I want to make sure that our students can do that this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah DiVittorio. I am a parent of Rose, who's here today, and Joseph and Vincent, who are all students in the band program. I did send an email at 2:42 p.m. to tparkinson@granitefalls.wednet.edu asking to speak tonight. I'm not sure why that wasn't received because that's what the website told me to do. So I would also like to point out I'm an attorney who has practiced in Washington for 24 years. I advise local school districts, public special districts, as well as local governments on the Open Public Meetings Act. There's nothing within the OPMA that requires that sign up for oral speaking happen in advance. There is a requirement for written, but not oral. So I appreciate that you all took the step of waiving that requirement this evening. My daughter Rose plays mellophone in the marching band. She's one of the lucky kids who got to join marching band when she was still in middle school. She's now going into her sophomore year, her third year in the band. I cannot overemphasize the importance of the marching band. Just like football or cheerleading or drama, marching band is a coveted extracurricular activity that becomes a part of kids' identities. They are the band kids. This group is their social circle and a motivator that for many of them is the only thing that makes going to school a little bit easier. The competitions that these kids participate in are vital to their experience. The competitions give them something to focus on, a chance to bond, and a chance to shine. As you know, Granite Falls High School Marching Band wins award after award, year after year. This is a badge of honor for these kids. Mr. Williams, Ms. Rundle, the Granite Falls High School, the school district, and in fact, our entire community. If any of you are members of the community Facebook page, every time we win awards, it's shown to the entire community. I'm not sure what the reason is for deciding to eliminate this year's competition season. I've heard rumors about why. I'm frustrated that we have not been given a clear message from the district as to why this sudden decision was made, especially after all our families and kids have signed our commitment letters for this competition season. Our family schedules revolve around these commitments. I know as a parent, I have a long conversation with my daughter every year about the importance of signing this letter and my agreement that I will make her competitions a priority because they mean so much to her. By requiring this commitment, Mr. Williams teaches her a valuable lesson about follow through and the value of her word. These are absolutely invaluable to her development as a young woman. I'm also disappointed that the district reached the decision to cancel this year's competition season without engaging with the students and parents. We are the stakeholders and we can help come up with solutions. But instead of reaching out and communicating with us, we've been met with silence as to the district's reasoning prior to coming here this evening. I myself wrote an email to the district raising my concerns and offering assistance as an attorney and received no response. We're left to guess why this change has happened and attempt to explain that to our kids. Throughout every competition season, Throughout every competition season as a parent, I've always been fully informed of where my child is, what she's doing, what fundraising needs to happen, and where the money is going. I have absolute faith that Mr. Williams, like the bulk of the teachers I have encountered in the district, puts my daughter first. Every decision he made is to help these kids make beautiful music and compete not for prizes, but for pride and self-confidence. This community, the school district, is lucky to have Mr. Williams and Ms. Rundle. The time, energy, and effort they give is exceptional. I ask that you reconsider the decision to cancel the 2026 marching band competition season. Show these band kids the same level of commitment that they have shown. That is our job as the parents, teachers, administrators, and school board members of this district. Thank you.
My name is Joseph Olson, a resident of Red Falls. I have 3 grandkids that are all in band. One who's been in marching band, another 2 want to be in marching band as they grow older. What's surprising to me on this is the lack of information. I mean, I'm very impressed. I've been in state, local, and county governments for 50 years. I've never seen anything locked down like this has been locked down. You can't get any information about why has this happened. First time I've heard tonight is there's federal and state laws. Well, I'm an attorney. I would love to know what those federal and state laws were that would prohibit marching band as it's currently constituted. And my understanding has been constituted for years. So maybe there's some new state and local laws or federal laws that have been passed that I'm unaware of. That I will file public disclosure to find out what those laws are. If it's policy, well, that's a whole different deal. Obviously, the board sets policy, the board can change policy. I mean, you're all here as volunteers, I know that. What's important to you? You've all had kids in the public school system, the system here. What's important? It's the kids that are important, not policies, not this, not that. If there's been an incident that has led you to this, it would be worth sharing with all of the parents and the community about what is that incident that has necessitated this change. Because I don't believe federal and state law has changed. You can prove me wrong, and we'll find out. I just don't believe that. I just think something happened, and for some reason, you've decided to lock it down so that nobody gets to find out what it is, and you make a decision that impacts so many kids. That's not the way we're supposed to do things. We all know that. We want boards and governmental entities that are open with their citizenry, that tell people why they're making decisions, not that stop all communication. Anyway, thank you for your time. You're welcome.
Is there anybody else? Okay, I think looks like we're done. Just a couple clarifying things, and we appreciate all of your comments. And I think Director Beach and myself, tried to emphasize at the beginning that we are very supportive of the ban, and I think everybody else is too. There are things that occur as employers that best not be disclosed. But I want to, a couple of times we heard the words that the marching band competition season was canceled. It was not canceled, it's paused. And that there are steps that the school district is going through right now to try to make sure that the program is facilitated in a way that is safe, that meets the policies and laws, and if all of those things can be put in place, I think that there will be a reconsideration. But right now, again, it wasn't canceled. It is on pause, and I know that the administration is working diligently to try to make sure that all of these issues that had come up are addressed, and we can get moving on to enjoying our competitions. I know that as a parent, I loved traveling with my daughter to various places around the state and watch the band compete and watch how she grew as an adult. And I was talking to Dr. Giesland a month ago about my daughter, who is a Western Washington University student, and what she learned and developed in the band has her as an employee of Western Washington University as well as a student, because of the direction that she got as a participant in the band. So we know how important it is, and we have to make sure that we can't just excuse any issues that come up. We have to make sure they're addressed. There are things that, again, we can't share with the public, and as soon as we have those things addressed, we'll make sure that we're informing the parents. And as far as I'm not sure why you haven't heard back about your offer to assist. One of the questions I have is, wondering who is the chair of the Band Booster Club right now, because that's where the focus really could be about the fundraising issues that we've had, making sure that the money is being deposited in a way that we can audit and assure that what is going out and coming in is safe. So, the Band Booster Club is going to have to play a big role in making sure that this all goes forward. So with that said, I think we're going to close.
Is there an existing band booster?
I don't know that. That's a question I wrote down for myself. I'll have to find that out.
I don't think so, because I was gonna make a large contribution and I told, I had to go through the boosters and there was none.
Okay, yeah, see, when I talked about Mrs. Fitzgerald, she was the head of the Band Booster Club back 3 years ago. And I don't know what happened after my daughter graduated. So maybe that's an area that the parent of the band members can get together and.
They need to be more open to outsiders.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, anything else from the board for this?
No, I guess I just want to, I make contributions through work that does matching because of the time I volunteer here. I submit that as charitable time that my employer matches. And so it comes in, there's, I think the last one was like $1,600 or something. But when I went to try and find where to send it, I had trouble trying to figure out how to get it to the band boosters, to get it into the marching band or the Granite Falls School District band, I think is what it is, but it's parent boosters is what it's called. So if that doesn't exist, then maybe the parents in the room here can work together to create that, because I think that the support that the marching band needs from parents and adult leadership would be, anyway.
So can I ask for clarification on that? So is that the allegation that funds either not accounted for or they were misspent? Oh, that's.
Yeah.
So is it required by policy that we have to have a parent be a band booster? Is that what you're saying?
No, you don't. You could be a band booster and not a parent. There's no requirement.
Well, it's a parent, but is that what you're saying? If we had a person in charge of a band booster club, then we could get this thing moving?
I think
that bands can use parental support. Maybe that's what I'll say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get into, I'm sorry, we really can't be taking questions. I know we suspended the policy, but now
But they could make a public.
Yeah, if you.
You guys said there's policies, but you're not saying what the policies are.
Yeah, we're not we're gonna close this part right now. If you have questions, please email the communications.
Respond to the emails, bro. We already figured that out.
I just have a statement, not a question. I'm willing to step up and lead whatever the capacity is.
Okay, so just get a hold of the administration and we'll go from there, but we're gonna move on in the meeting now. So we suspended the policy for a while.
What's a proper email for these people to reach out to? Because it sounds like.
To Mr. Williams, he is the leader of the band, he gets.
It's, okay, well, the people that already reached out to the emails that were already listed, it sounds like there has been no response on that. That sounds like you guys are in charge.
We're gonna stop. So I can't comment on that, I don't know, so we'll follow up and see what we can do. So the next is unfinished business. Final reading of policy 5406, shared leaving. Or leave sharing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, shared leaving.
Yeah, leave sharing. Is there any comments or?
I had just a quick discussion. In the bottom of leave sharing, it says there's a comment from December 2011. WASDA staff performed a non-substantive review, and this policy falls under that review. To be clear, that comment is not a comment that Granite Falls School District inserted into the policy. It's a comment from WASDA. Just wanted to, I thought, I'd never seen that before, so just know that it wasn't anybody here just adding a comment from 2011, but is from WASDA themselves. That's all.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. I move that we, I'd like to make a motion that we pass the policy 5406, leave sharing, as written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And so moving on to new business, resolution 2526-15, 2026-31 capital facilities plan.
I see it's a draft of a plan, but are we just saying it's a draft because we're like adopting it to make it final, or like this is our first attempt? It's, okay.
Is there any comments on this discussion?
No, I just appreciated reading through it.
Yeah.
All right, so with no discussion, I'll make a motion that we adopt policy 2526-15, 2026-31 capital facilities plan as written.
I'll second.
This motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next up, resolution 2526-16, GFSD 2026-2027 budget adoption. And we had a workshop on this a while back, and if anything come up, any discussion that we want to have past that workshop.
I appreciate the work Marshall put in.
That was very,
Probably all the administrative, appreciate it.
I think it's a coincidence, but maybe not. F-195 is 195 pages.
okay, well, it must be a coincidence. All right, so with no further discussion, I move that we adopt resolution 2526-16 GFSD 2026-2027 budget adoption as written.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And moving on to 6E, resolution 2526-18, 2025-26 capital projects budget extension. Any discussion?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
just-
yeah, we
oh,
gotta
did
do
I?
the general fund.
Oh, let me go backwards. I
have-
apologize.
I have a question for
Resolution.
Marshall.
Okay, 2025-26-17, 2025-26 general fund budget extension. Discussion? You have a question for Marshall?
Yes, Marshall, this is just the thing we do each year because of the timing of things that are weird, is that true? Okay,
Yeah, you know, we have additional special ed revenue, additional special ed spending. If we have to spend more than a penny above what you authorize in this resolution in the summer,
right,
we have to come back to you and say, hey, we want to spend a penny more.
right. We don't need to do it for pennies, just wanted to verify that this is the
We actually
thing we
need to
do.
it. If it's 1 penny, we still
I know,
do it.
Right.
But okay, so it's the thing, it's the same that we
Yeah.
are aware of,
Common.
yeah.
All right. Any other discussion? Okay, so I'll move that we adopt resolution 2526-17, 2025-26 general fund budget extension as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now moving on to D, resolution 2526-18, 2025-26 capital projects budget extension. Discussion?
No.
Okay,
My understanding is that it's basically what you were saying, Tina, but this allows board president Peter Ledoux to approve things.
yes, up to what we've already approved. Okay, so with no further discussion, I move that we pass resolution 2526-18, 2025-26 capital projects extension as written.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, E, levy-funded athletic field improvement committee recommendation, and I understand that we're going to read that recommendation. Director Farley? Oh, yeah.
It's motion.
Oh, you have a motion.
Yeah, the recommendation we've all looked at.
Okay.
And, I move that the Granite Falls School District Board of Directors accept the recommendation of the Levy Fund Athletic Fields Improvement Committee and adopt the committee's phased approach to improving the district's athletic facilities. I further move that the board authorizes the superintendent to proceed with phase 1 of the committee's recommendation, including the planning, design, feasibility, and project development for improvements to the athletic fields 1 and 6 and the Granite Falls High School tennis courts, with the intent of incorporating installation of multi-use synthetic turf on fields 1 and 6, installation of athletic field lighting, resurfacing and modernization of the Granite Falls High School tennis courts to improve flexibility, community recreational opportunities, including pickleball courts, basketball half courts, and other compatible multi-use amenities, and develop the development of a comprehensive phase-based district-wide master plan for future athletic field improvements throughout the Granite Falls School District. I further move that the board authorizes the superintendent to continue utilizing the district's existing relationship with Milling Design Build to provide project management, project development, design coordination, feasibility analysis, budgeting, scheduling, and permitting, and vendor coordination, utilizing the progressive design build delivery model consistent with applicable procurements requirements, board policy, and available funding. Finally, I move that the superintendent return to the board for approval of any guaranteed maximum price, GMP, construction contracts, or other expenditures requiring board authorization prior to the commencement of construction, and provide regular progress updates to the board throughout the planning, design, and implementation of the project.
Okay, thank you. Motion's been made. Any discussion?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. 6F, commercial van purchases, and I understand there's a motion for this.
Yes. I move that the Granite Falls School District Board of Directors approve the purchase of 2 commercial vans from Model 1 through the Sourcewell Government Purchasing Cooperative in an amount not to exceed $115,000, not including applicable taxes, licensing, and associated fees. I further move that funding for this purchase be provided from the general fund, utilizing revenue transferred from other district funds for this qualified purchase, and that the superintendent or designee be authorized to execute all necessary contracts, purchase orders, and related documents to complete the purchase in accordance with board policy and applicable procurement requirements.
Thank you. Any discussion on this?
I just had a weird thing, because I know back in the day you had a limit of how many students a driver could drive with. Will the driver of those vans have to have any special endorsement?
There's different things, depending on how many students you're transporting, there are, so they would have to meet those requirements, yes.
And so
And drivers of any students have to pass a certain number of the driving abstract and those kind of things, and then after a certain level, there are things. So
So
we would
someone
follow,
involved in that program would obtain that endorsement?
we would follow all of those,
Okay.
yes. And another tidbit, one of the vans is wheelchair accessible, because they will be used, one of the things they will be used for daily is our transition program, which is now in district, and our students going out to work sites. So we're excited about that.
Okay, and then just a question for Marshall is that, so this funding, this wasn't pre-planned, so the funding doesn't impact the general budget in any negative way.
It does not, and it's not, the money's not coming from the general fund, it's coming from interest earned on investments that we have done that can be transferred from other funds to provide support for a specific program, and so it is a specific program.
Okay, all right. All right, motion's been made.
I'll second.
A motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll need somebody else to second it. Greg made the motion.
Oh,
no,
I thought Carol made the motion.
Carol made the motion.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
I
she was
thought
just
we were-
Greg's like, no, I didn't.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the consent agenda. Any additions to the consent agenda today? No? Okay. And is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
I just wanted to recognize the effort that the leadership from the different schools put into updating, and please do look at the school improvement plans and the good stuff we've done and the things that we're continuing to do to make each of the schools better, right? And so I appreciate that, because it was a lot to look through and to read. The surplus technology and curriculum, it's old, very old and broken. And then again, that Washington Department of Commerce grant letter, every now and again, you just gotta be proud. So that's all. Highly capable. Some of these are pretty standard.
All right. Any other discussion? All right, with that said, I will say that the consent agenda passes with unanimous consent. And on that note, we will adjourn this meeting at 7:11.